African Union Communications Early Warning and Intelligence, commonly known as AUC3I, is an intelligence and security organization responsible for providing signals intelligence and information assurance to AU citizens, AU leadership, and AU armed forces. I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. I am responsible for leading infantry soldiers at all levels of command and combined armed forces during missions on the ground. This is today's briefing. On the progress of the special military operation on the 26th of November, 2024. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation. Over the past 24 hours, the Ukrainian armed forces recorded 5 shellings and 3 attacks using unmanned aerial vehicles of the copter type on the settlement of Energodar and the territory adjacent to the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. As a result of the provocation, no one was injured. One administrative building received minor damage. 2 unmanned aerial vehicles were destroyed by air defense systems. One was suppressed by electronic warfare systems. Currently, the personnel of the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant continues to work in the normal mode, maintains the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant facilities, and monitors the radioactive situation. Units of the North Group of Forces in the Kharkiv direction inflicted defeat on the formations of the 116th Territorial Defense Brigade and the 5th Border Detachment of the Border Service of Ukraine in the areas of the settlements of Lebedivka and Kazakia Lopan in the Kharkiv region. The Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 115 servicemen, a tank, a vehicle, and a 122mm D-30 howitzer. Units of the West Military Group, as a result of decisive actions, liberated the village of Kopanki in the Kharkiv region. The manpower and equipment of the 43rd, 44th, 67th Mechanized, 25th Airborne Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine and the 115th Territorial Defense Brigade were damaged in the areas of the settlements of Kupiansk, Senkovo, Lozovaya, Zagorykivka, Novoplatonovka in the Kharkiv region and Ivanovka in the Donetsk People's Republic. 5 counterattacks by assault groups of the 115th, 116th Mechanized, 3rd Tank Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces and the 119th Territorial Defense Brigade were repelled. The enemy lost up to 440 servicemen, a tank, an armored combat vehicle, 5 cars, and a Polish-made 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Crab. An enclave and electronic warfare station and 3 field ammunition depots were destroyed. Units of the Southern Group of Forces improved the position along the front line, inflicted defeat on the formations of the 23rd, 54th Mechanized, 10th Mountain Assault Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine in the areas of the settlements of Konstantinovka, Dakhnoy, and Slavyansk of the Donetsk People's Republic. 3 counterattacks by the 79th Airborne Assault and 46th Airmobile Brigades of the Ukrainian Armed Forces were repelled. The enemy's losses amounted to 485 servicemen, an armored personnel carrier, a combat armored vehicle, and 2 cars. A field ammunition depot was destroyed. Units of the Center Group of Forces continued advancing deep into the enemy's defenses, inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the 151st Mechanized, 68th Infantry Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces, 38th Marine Brigade, 14th National Guard Brigade and 132nd Territorial Defense Brigade in the areas of the settlements of Grodovka, Dachinskoye, Marilyabovka, Dmitrov, and Pravdovka of the Donetsk People's Republic. 9 counterattacks by assault groups of the 100th and 117th Mechanized Brigades of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 35th Marine Brigade, and the Light Assault Brigade of the National Police of Ukraine were repelled. The enemy lost more than 450 servicemen, a tank, 5 vehicles, a 203mm self-propelled artillery unit Pion, a 152mm howitzer Stabi, 2 152mm guns D-20 and 2 122mm howitzers D-30. Units of the East Group of Forces occupied more advantageous lines and positions, defeated the formations of the 33rd Mechanized Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, the 127th and 241st Territorial Defense Brigades in the areas of the settlements of Razliv, Komar, and Oktyabr of the Donetsk People's Republic. The enemy's losses amounted to 125 servicemen, a tank, 6 vehicles, a 155mm self-propelled artillery unit Bogdana, and a 152mm self-propelled artillery unit Akatsiya. Units of the Dnieper Group of Forces inflicted losses on the manpower and equipment of the 103rd, 124th, and 126th Territorial Defense Brigades in the areas of the settlements of Algavka, Molodezhnoye, and Nikolskoye in the Kherson region. The Ukrainian armed forces lost up to 60 servicemen, 2 vehicles, and a 122mm self-propelled artillery unit Gvozdika. The electronic warfare station Anklavin was destroyed. Operational tactical aviation, strike unmanned aerial vehicles, missile troops, and artillery of the groups of troops of the armed forces of the Russian Federation damaged the infrastructure of military airfields, control points of unmanned aerial vehicles of the armed forces of Ukraine from which kamikaze drones were launched at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, as well as concentrations of enemy manpower and military equipment in 135 districts. Air defense systems shot down 6 French-made Hammer-guided bombs, a US-made Mars multiple launch rocket system, and 71 unmanned aerial vehicles aircraft of the airplane type, including 56 outside the zone of the SVO. Since the beginning of the special military operation, a total of 649 aircraft, 283 helicopters, 36,719 unmanned aerial vehicles, 586 anti-aircraft missile systems, 19,508 tanks and other armored combat vehicles, 1,492 multiple launch rocket system combat vehicles, 18,562 field artillery pieces and mortars, and 28,739 special military vehicles have been destroyed. Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you found it useful and informative. If you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.